Clippers 4-0 against the Warriors last 2 seasons. They had a win on Wednesday night. We do not take Steph Curry slander lightly on this program. So you want to talk reckless about him on the bird, we're going to remind you when he does stuff like this. Deep three. Clippers leading, though. Draymond. Old man game. Down the lane.
Not even guarding him.
Yeah, the Clippers did sort of let him go. But they're leading here by 9. Out on the break. Paul George. That's not an and one? Play on. Tough lay in there. Clippers leading by 11. George. A triple there. He had 17, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc in the first half. Clippers, a 14-point lead. Still cruising comfortably in the third. George down the lane, and one. And the lead has grown to 16. And then Steph started doing what he does. Just the beginning. Steps into this one late in the quarter, and you could see him hunting that shot. They got out in transition, and a great job there. Bazemore found him. And the Warriors are creeping back into this thing. They now lead by 3.
Bazemore will walk in the wall.
Not afraid. This is with Steph on the bench. But then Serge Ibaka, corner 3, ties things up. Steph needs to get back out on the floor.
Wanamaker.
Or does he? Brad Wanamaker's. We can keep this lead until you get back out here, my guy. Corner 3. Nicholas Batum.
Comeback player of the year.
Reborn. Curry. Everyone's trying to take a shot at him. Ibaka's guarding him. The little backhand flipsy. Draymond. Again to the cup. Warriors lead is 6. Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has hit. And then late, Curry. The handle is absurd. And that's Paul George getting a look. Malika afterwards with Steph.
Get it. Steph taking 2021 seriously, guys. 62. And here's the thing. It wasn't just against anybody. It was against the Blazers, a really good team. So, Stephen A., what did the performance tell you about him?
Well, it just reminded me that this is the greatest shooter since mankind existed. I've never seen a shooter greater than Steph Curry. I mean, it's off the dribble, it's spot up, it's anywhere on the floor, it's his movement without the basketball, it's catch and shoot, it's taking you off the dribble, it's spotting up. This brother is the greatest shooter we have ever seen, period. And when you take that in consideration and you just tickle your imagination as to when Clay gets back, the Golden State Warriors will be back at the very least in the conference finals because they're just too lethal of marksmen to ignore. I want to put this into consideration. Steph Curry is considered to be struggling. He is averaging 32 points on 45% shooting from the field, 36% shooting from three-point range, and that's considered struggling. Oh, by the way, he's shooting 98% from the free throw line. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. This is who he is. The first 10 years of his career, this man has shot better than 40% from three-point range. The first 10 years of his career. We celebrate people who do it once. And this dude did it the first 10 years. He is the greatest shooter man has ever seen. I know it sounds hyperbolic. It's not. It is not an exaggeration. I don't care whether you bring in Bird, whether you bring in Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Chris Mullin. I don't give a damn. There has never been a shooter this great. And when Clay gets back, look the hell out. Golden State is going to be immediately back in championship contention. And by the way, I like that kid Wiseman.
Well, he's clearly the greatest shooter ever. He's a mobile artillery unit because he can go get his own shot, and he invented shooting it from a million miles away, which created even more space. You know, everyone's like, how can you change the NBA? Make it a 4-point shot if it's farther away. So it didn't occur to people, no, it's all right to shoot it from 10 feet behind the arc if you can hit it regularly, which he can, which opens up the whole offense. He revolutionized the game. And by the way, for years I thought he was not a clutch shooter, Stephen A. I saw it in the playoffs. I don't care what anyone says. You go back and look at the highest leverage moments. I thought, why is Steph not as good here as he normally is? Shooting the ball. Even that started to change. Even that started to change. You know, that started to change. Given enough reps, he's now deadly in the clutch with the ball in his hand. It wasn't always that way. It is now. This is what I was thinking yesterday. This is what I took from the performance. And like a lot of people, I was watching football and keeping track of what was going on in the basketball game. Oh, my God, Steph went for, 31 at the half. Now he's at the 40-something. Now he's at the 50-something, 62. Stephen A., there have been more athletic point guards than Steph, obviously. Allen Iverson or Russell Westbrook. MVPs who were clearly more gifted athletically overall, right? There have been better two-way point guards than Steph Curry. Chris Paul or Isaiah Thomas, right, or John Stockton. There have been players who've done a lot of what Steph has done. Steve Nash, although Steph is really Nash 2.0 because he doesn't need to monopolize the ball. It doesn't stick with him, and he shoots it even better than Nash. But when I look at the history of the NBA, you take away Magic Johnson, right? Modern NBA, take away Magic, who's 6'8", 6'9". He is a point guard, and he's the greatest ever. But I'm talking about of the regular-sized point guards. Steph's the best who ever did it. He's the greatest of all time. And for all the reasons I just mentioned. Ball doesn't stick. Unselfish player who can score from anywhere, who makes all his teammates better shooters. And by the way, he's not a good defender because he's not big. He's wiry. He's not so, long. But he plays defense. It's not like he's not there. Go ahead.
Steph Curry the other day in practice, Max, made 105 straight three-pointers. 105.
Yeah, stupid.
Straight three-pointers without a miss. Steve Kerr had the joke of the year when he sat up there and said he choked. He didn't get to 106. You understand? 105.
A win like this feel in this moment?
I mean, it's huge for us that have been there. It's kind of weird, celebrating a win like that. But we're a young team. We're trying to find our identity and understand, how we're going to win games this year. And it takes, all 13 guys that stepped foot on the floor tonight, and just finding 48 minutes. That was a gutsy win for us to come back and show ourselves in the second half. Show we have that competitive spirit and got to carry that forward.
And Steph, you knew that defensive wall that you saw on Wednesday was going to come again today. What allowed you to finally break through it and find your rhythm?
I mean, honestly, it's just perseverance and resilience to try to just figure it out, stay patient, try not to get frustrated, knowing you're going to see bodies, move the ball, get guys involved. And at the end of the day, you got to make shots. And I kind of credit conditioning in that respect, because to be able to keep going and keep going and keep going. Who's this for? Oh, that's right, for Fred. My guy right behind me is his last.
Absolutely.
Fred, his last game as a statistician. We're gonna give it to him after. But it was. That's all it is. Just stick with it. Use your IQ to find those holes and make them pay.
Well, he's been tracking your threes for a long time, so you owe him that ball a little bit. But you talked about identity. What does a come from behind win like this do for you as you guys are trying to build that identity?
It's obviously confidence, and it's understanding that no matter how games are going, we're night and day different than we were those first two games against the Nets and Milwaukee, and that we have the ability to figure it out no matter who we're playing and no matter how we're playing. So you obviously got to continue to get better, continue to execute on both ends of the floor and compete. But a win like this gives you confidence that no matter how far you're out of it, you can turn it around.
Thanks so much, Steph, and congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Shout to Fred Cast, 58 years, the official statistician for the Warriors. He's going to get that game ball. And he saw a good one. Golden State was down 22 in the third, but they stormed back on a strength of a 34-6 run. Curry scoring or assisting on 19 of the 34. Clips had more turnovers than made buckets over that span. Ultimately, the Warriors finished the game on a 12-3 run.